The manufacturing business is very tedious business to manage actually, because every single step it has to be organized in a logical terms. Why? It's manufacturing. For example, you have to have the factories before having, or the machinery before having the raw material. So you have to have things done in a logical ways. I get to have everything ready. I have to schedule everything. In manufacturing, scheduling, it is very critical. What to produce before what. For example, we are making memory foam mattresses, pillows, neck support items, back support, seat support. In order to produce this, I have to have every single thing ready, the raw material first. And the raw material has to be manufactured right in a very timely manner, because if you wait for it longer than it should be, the material, the product is going to go to the waste. You cannot use it. It's going to be too hard. It cannot be used. So manufacturing, for example, is scheduling and organizing the task. It has to come from the upper management. You have employees. I do not have to explain every single thing to everybody or the whole system. I always have to have the task assigned to one person, to one specific job, and all what you need to do, that specific person for that specific job, you need to know that task only. He doesn't need to know the whole scope of business. In another way, also employees, they have a specific task. Manager have to have a whole entire picture of the whole thing. How does the company running, or what does he need to do exactly to maintain the production flowing out of the assembly line? So how do you do that? Written procedures. You know, I'm used to so much written procedures. I'd like to explain verbally to anybody. Anybody we hire, we have his task written in 1, 2, 3. Before he starts working or she starts working, I hand them exactly what we are expecting from him or of her. Go study that, come back to me, and then we're gonna ask him exactly, did he understand anything or not? Then we take him to the factory and show him exactly what he's going to do. So organizing the work, organizing the task, all right, in a logical terms, in written format, right? It is the way to do it, to avoid any misunderstanding. That you didn't tell me this or you didn't tell me that, I did not understand this or I didn't know. To avoid all that, have it in writing, hand it to every single employee, what is expected of them, especially in manufacturing, all right? So this is how I do it in manufacturing. We have 3 layers of management in the factory. We have a general manager that he oversee the whole entire factory. And we have intermediate management, right? They are in charge of the production, they have to make sure that the production is flowing. And we have crew managers. We divide, for example, the whole factory is about 80 people, all right? We divide into groups. We're dividing those maximum 6 people group, and every group have a leader. And those leaders, if you divide those, for example, 10 groups, you divide those 10 groups or 12 groups to 12 lead person for each group. They report to the intermediate manager, and the intermediate manager reports to the upper manager or the upper management, which is only one general manager, by the way. His job to make sure that the job is flowing throughout the whole entire factory in a very systematic way. He has a flow chart, by the way, and this flow chart, it's posted in his office. Who is doing what and where, how the merchandise is supposed to be and the raw material is supposed to be flowing at what time throughout the whole entire factory in a very specific hours. 3 o'clock, the factory is supposed to be producing so and so and so. 2 hours for this process. 5 o'clock, the factory is supposed to be producing so and so and so. Upper manager is a guy with an experience, really. He came, first of all, he's a textile engineer. For my company, I need a textile engineer. And the guy, he is a graduate from England. Okay. He was working in the factory, in this industry for 20 years. We pay him top dollars. Top dollars because of why we pay him top dollars, because he is in charge of the production that he have to produce. so many units every single month, and if he does not produce that, he gets penalized for it. So he is like a military guy. He's not military guy, but he behaves like a military guy because I run a very tight operation. I don't allow for no errors at all, zero chance for errors. And again, to add something, he has the task of doing the hiring. I do not interfere in that. He has the task of doing all the intermediate management, the group leaders, and the factory workers. He has a total control of all that. I mean, if we break down the businesses, as we always said before, to all the categories that we are, all the categories of the businesses, let's say retail, wholesale, importation. I'm going to give you a classical example. At one time, when they first started doing business with one of the biggest retailers in Egypt, called Carrefour, which is like equivalent to Costco in the United States. And I was meeting with the purchasing manager. He said, how soon can you get us this merchandise? Can you get the merchandise to us in 30 days? I said, you must be kidding you. I'm sorry, you must be kidding me. If anybody tells you he's going to import this product line for you in 30 days, they are lying to you. There is no such a thing. All right, I'm going to tell you why. Before I tell you the time frame that I'm shooting for, I'm going to tell you the breakdown. Once I have the order in my hand, I have to forward the order to the factory to overseas, let's say China. Minimum of 30 days manufacturing, right? Then, second phase, we have to schedule shipping and loading the containers, right? And getting the containers to the port. Talking about between 10 days to 2 weeks in there. Then we're talking about sealing time. This is another 30 days. Now we're talking about 2.5 months. Then releasing the products from the customs and delivering the goods to you. So we're talking about 90 days. He told me that somebody told him he can get in the goods in 30 days. He said, how? Water shipping takes 30 days. How? It's impossible. Even if he has the merchandise ready, it's going to take more than 30 days. It's impossible. All right. So how do you learn all this? This is experience, by the way. You can ask me and I can answer you specific. This is importation. Manufacturing, I can talk about the products that I'm producing, that I'm familiar with, all right? The cycle for me, right? I can produce, for example, let's say the machinery that we have, okay, which is the state-of-the-art machines, right? Those machines, the whole entire cycle, it takes about 9 minutes, all right, for the conveyor to do about 40 pieces, okay? It's simple mathematical calculations, right? Every 9 minutes, if I feed the machine correctly, every 9 minutes, if the conveyor, right, have 40 molds, it will produce 40 units in 9 minutes. But doesn't mean that you have to calculate, or you're gonna say, every 9 minutes I have to produce 40 pieces. No, because the machine has to be cleaned. The machine has to be fit again with the raw material. So we're talking another 20 minutes. So you're talking now not 9 minutes, we're talking about half an hour. So we're talking about 30 minutes. Every 30 minutes you will be able to produce every machine and every conveyor. And every conveyor, if it's feeding 40 molds, you're gonna be able to produce 40 pieces from every machine every half an hour. All right, this is calculation now. It depends how many machines you have, all right, and how many conveyor do you have and how many mold do you have. All that has to be you have to sit down with your general manager, tell me exactly this is my target goal. I need 100,000 units every single month. You take the 100,000 units, divide them by the number of days, and this is how many units we have to produce every day. Now you go to your machinery. How many can I produce a day? All right, and let's say you can produce only 3,000 units a day. This is not going to give you more than 90,000 units a month. All right, I cannot, and this is working full time, working 12 hours a day. Now, if I want to double the production, then I'm going to have a second shift to double the production. It's all mathematics, it's all capability, it's all capacity of your factory. You have to understand the nature of your factory, the capacity of your machinery, the quality that you're going to produce in so much time so you do not hinder the quality either. It's manufacturing, it is as I said, to get into this industry, you have to be able to study and learn all the specifics. Otherwise, do not get yourself into that. How do you, first, when you hiring your employees, you have to hire qualified employees. I mean, you have different levels. It depends what you want for. If you want an engineer, different than a factory worker. Factory worker working on an assembly line, he doesn't have to be an engineer, but you have to know exactly the nature of the factory or the nature of the business he is going to work at. I mean, the nature of his job. I could never guarantee to anybody that you're gonna keep that employees forever. Nobody gonna be with you for lifetime. I mean, only key people are gonna stay with you for multiple number of years, right? But the good manager, that he would be able to hire employees with a very low turnover, that he have the vision to know exactly what he wants, what qualification is he looking for, and what kind of employees, right? And the determination. Usually, when I heard somebody personally, when I heard the general manager, he said, listen, his name is Salah, by the way, you know, I mean, I said, listen, I am not expecting you're gonna be with me for a lifetime. But what I'm expecting that you're gonna be staying for a while with us, because of one fact, it takes a long time to train you. And it's gonna take you at least 3 to 4 months before I see any production from you, for you to learn the manufacturing. Or what our factory, and how the system is working, and the nature of our clientele. So usually you do an intensive training for the manager, and then that manager is producing, as I said, booklet. This booklet, it's a standard. What is he expecting from every single machine and the people working on those machines? And as soon as he hires an employee, he hands them this booklet to go to study the booklet. Go study and come back. So you have to have qualified people. You cannot hire a guy, he produces missiles, or work in a manufacturing producing weapons. You're going to expect he's going to function in a factory producing cushions. No, this are two separate entities, are two separate industries. They are not related with each other. Okay, it doesn't mean that you cannot hire people at an entry level. Yes, you can. You hire people at an entry level if you see potential in them, that they can be a very good employees and you will be able to learn the industry real quick. Now, give yourself 6 months. If that employee does not produce, he has to go. This is the task I have the biggest problem with. I'll be honest with you. Loyalty is a key issue for me, is a key component in an employee. You have to pay them well. You have to treat them with respect. You have to treat them with dignity, all right? And you have to teach them well. And you are hoping that they're gonna be loyal to you. This is something, it cannot be either it's embedded on you or you don't have it. It's something I cannot plant on anybody, all right? We explain to people that loyalty and efficiency, it's a key component to success, with us at least. I guess it's a key component to anybody, all right? It's a component of success, loyalty, integrity, and learning is, you're gonna have to learn regardless. But loyalty, I cannot teach you how to be loyal. Either you have it or you don't have it. Now, how to keep the employees loyal? You are there when they need you. If they need help, you help them, all right? You support them, okay? You work with them. As I said, you treat them with respect. You pay them well. All right, that's the components. This is the only thing you can do. If somebody, he is a rebel, he does not have this inside in him, or somebody doesn't have it, or somebody, she doesn't have it, I'm sorry, you cannot embed it in anybody. You cannot create that in anybody. Either they have it or they don't have it. The only way you can do, right, treat them well, and hoping, right, they are not gonna be bite you at your back, or they're gonna stay loyal to you, or they're gonna do their best and all that. And one thing I monitor, and I don't micromanage, by the way, I don't like micromanagement, right? But I do monitor the progress. To me, a good employees, all right, he has to produce. Because for us, at the end of the month, if I have to have 15,000 units, if the factory capable of producing that, if it's not produced, something went wrong. Something has gone wrong, definitely. And this is exactly how we measure. And also, by the way, I set the target every single month. This month I need it, but also according to the capacity of your factory. So this month we have to produce 20,000 units because we have a commitment to a client. You can come back and tell me what the factory cannot produce 20,000 units. How much can it produce? 15,000 units. In how many hours? In 12 hours shift, as I said before. So you have to be reasonable also. You have to set a target, achievable target. Now, if the employees are good and loyal to you, they will do their best. If somebody doesn't care, then I cannot do it. Right? They don't do their best. So, I mean, something, as I said, something I cannot impede on anybody. Either they have it or they don't.